Alright guys, we are several days into the league, and even though I wasn't playing as much as usual, I got my Atlas completed and farmed enough divines for the power charge Ralakesh, which was 70 divines at that time, which is kinda harsh. So I decided to make a quick update video on how the build is performing, my plans and stuff like that. First of all, the reason I wasn't playing as much is mostly because I tried to play this league more casually, while also enjoying other games. But it's also because I'm not as interested in playing after getting my character online and finishing the Atlas. It might just be a me thing, but I just feel like there is nothing I can strive towards in the endgame now. And while the league mechanic on its own has really cool crafting and is quite fun to do, there are several issues with it and the content they added overall this patch. I'm primarily talking about the feeling that the content was made very hastily, with no quality control, there's a lot of bugs, and we took several steps backwards in quality of life features, even the basic stuff like having a map in the voyages. And for example, the packs that were supposed to save self-casters are pretty much unusable. There's like 6 people using them on PoE Ninja, and not to mention other people's issues with something like the Luminary Ascendancy, which was apparently so bad it was straight up unplayable and too weak to even do endgame before the hotfixes. It all just kinda puts a bad taste in my mouth, even if GGG fixes all the issues soon. So now that I got the rambling part of the video out of the way, let's talk about the build itself. Overall, I'm pleasantly surprised, even though it's obviously not the strongest build I've played, it's good enough. I leveled the build with Freezing Pulse in the campaign, and that spell is now absolutely busted, at least for the campaign. I had around 100,000 tooltip DPS in Act 5, and I was one-shotting rares with it. In maps, I switched to Void Sphere of Rending, and it's definitely a lot better than it was before this patch. Especially now it has decent damage, and you can just place it under the boss to basically perma-freeze it. Void Sphere kinda feels like a cold dot skill that is in reality purely hit-based. It was good enough to kill all the pinnacles on its own, even though the single target feels like playing Righteous Fire, unless you get the power charge stacking items, which is, well, mainly Ralakesh, and because everyone plays this archetype now, the boots are around 70 divines, which is wild. But after you get the boots together with Toolfall, Malakai's Loop, and Graven's Secret, which are very cheap in comparison, you actually start dealing decent damage. It basically at least doubles your DPS on its own, and has higher ceiling, which means you should be around 2 to 3 million DPS single target, and with enough investment you should get to around 10 million DPS while still being decently tanky. I will put the POB in the description. There should be 2 loadouts right now, one with Will Clash and, well, one without it. Will Clash just gives you spell block cap on its own and some damage, which isn't much, but it's like 6 or 8%, but you lose a lot of energy shield if you do that, so it's up to you which one is better for you, or which one you prefer. Also, before getting the Watcher's Eye for cold conversion, you can use Grim Sorrow gloves to convert all of the damage to cold. It should be around 1C. Also, besides Void Sphere, you might notice I'm using Wall Ice Nova sometimes, because it's just a very satisfying button to press and pretty much full clears a screen or two as long as the mobs are close together. Oh, and you can safely ignore the normal Void Sphere in my gem setup in the POB. I just like to press it sometimes because it has way bigger AoE than the transfigured version. Alright, so that's pretty much everything I wanted to say about the build right now. I don't know if I'll be pushing it further though, because of the reasons I mentioned earlier. I will most likely reroll a hardcore character with Hexblast Elementalist, thanks to one cool guy on the Discord, telling me about this new unique body armor GGG has added. The hardcore experience might actually make me enjoy the game more than I do now. Overall, I actually usually prefer hardcore over softcore, but the trait is so that I can't try out my weird builds most of the time. So we will see. If there's anyone who wants to play this build more and push it, just ask me. If you don't know how to do that, I'm always willing to help. Okay, with this I thank you for watching this update video. Like and subscribe if you've enjoyed it or the build, and see you in the next video on stream or on Discord. Bye!